Why are you trying to be a second-rate version of a stranger when the world hasn't even seen the first-rate version of you? You are currently engaged in a massive fraudulent exchange. You are trading your most valuable asset, your finite attention, for a curated digital lie that doesn't even exist in 3 dimensions. Let's look at the economics of your envy. Comparison is a market failure. Thomas Sowell noted that there are no solutions, only trade-offs. When you spend your morning scrolling through someone else's highlight reel, you are trading your mental clarity for a dopamine hit of inadequacy. You are comparing your internal raw footage to their professional studio production. It is an information failure of the highest order. It is logically incoherent to measure your step 1 against their step 20, yet you do it until your spirit is as bankrupt as a subprime lender in 2008. It is hilariously pathetic to watch a biological miracle, a creature forged through 4 billion years of survival, sit on a sofa and feel less than because a digital avatar has a better filter on their avocado toast. We have become a civilization of voyeurs, watching influencers who are just as lost as we are, following a map drawn by people who never left the parking lot. Milton Friedman understood that the only way to have true freedom is through individual responsibility, but you can be responsible for your life if you are too busy trying to live someone else's. Malcolm X didn't check the polls before he stood for his humanity. He didn't ask for a consensus. He understood that self-reliance is the only path to respect. Churchill didn't wait for a safe space before he decided to defy an empire. They knew that your individuality isn't a brand. It is your only leverage in a world that wants you to be a replaceable cog in a mediocre machine. Stop looking for a permission slip to be yourself. The algorithm wasn't designed to make you great. It was designed to keep you scrolling until you're too numb to act. Fuck the highlight reel. Fuck the personal brand. Here is your directive. Close the apps. Put the phone in another room. Sit in the silence until you remember who you actually are when nobody is watching. Identify the one thing you do better than anyone else, the thing that feels like play to you but looks like work to them, and double down on it with mechanical ferocity. Stop performing. Start producing. The world doesn't need more clones. It needs more originals. Get to work. Why are you standing there waiting for a permission slip from a world that doesn't even know you rebreathing? You act as if there is some celestial middle manager coming down to pat you on your head and tell you it is finally your time. In this video, we perform a cold-blooded audit of your reality, drawing on the logical realism of Thomas Sowell, the unyielding resolve of Winston Churchill, and the radical self-reliance of Malcolm X. We break down the high cost of your procrastination. You are currently in an economic deficit, trading your only finite currency, time, for the temporary comfort of an excuse. It's time to stop the professional victim narrative and enter the arena. Reality is not a democracy. It doesn't care about your feelings, your vision board, or your star sign. Gravity doesn't negotiate, and neither does the clock. Stop performing for an audience that isn't looking. Own your shit. Execute now. Why are you standing there waiting for a permission slip from a world that doesn't even know you rebreathing? You act as if there is some celestial middle manager coming down to pat you on your head and tell you it is finally your time. Let's look at the math, because the economics of your life are currently in a deficit. You are trading the only finite currency you possess, time, for the temporary comfort of an excuse. There is no such thing as a free lunch, yet you are trying to dine on the someday special while the bill is being charged to your future corpse. It is economically illiterate and psychologically suicidal. Thomas Sowell noted that there are no solutions in this life, only trade-offs. You want the result? Trade the sleep. You want the independence? Trade the safety. You want the respect. Trade the pathetic need to be liked by people you don't even respect. We have become a society of professional victims and recreational whiners, building safe spaces to hide from a reality that isn't even looking for us. Guess what? Reality is not a democracy. It doesn't care about your vision board, your feelings, or your star sign. Gravity does not negotiate, and neither does the morgue. History wasn't made by people who felt ready. It was made by people who were marinating in discomfort and decided to act anyway. Malcolm X knew that nobody gives you anything if you want a seat at the table. You bring your own chair and a sledgehammer. Churchill didn't wait for a focus group to decide if he should resist. He recognized that the only way through hell is to keep going. You are a biological miracle assembled from stardust and 4 billion years of successful evolution. And you spending your prime years hitting the snooze button on a life you claim to want. Stop performing for an audience that isn't looking. Stop treating your potential like a debt you can settle later. You are running out of later. Here is your move. Pick the one task you have been avoiding because it makes you feel unready. Do it now. Not when you've had more coffee, not on Monday, and not when you feel it. Fuck your feelings. The feeling follows the work, not the other way around. Get into the arena, do the work, take ownership. The lights are eventually going out. Make sure you gave the world a reason to remember yours were on. You have mistaken self-care for a suicide pact with your own potential. We have become a civilization of wet noodles, wrapped in a vocabulary of victimhood so sophisticated it would make a con artist blush. You aren't protecting your peace. You are fortifying your prison. Let's perform a cold-blooded audit of your reality. Thomas Sowell pointed out that the first rule of economics is scarcity. Yet the first rule of your daily life seems to be the delusion of infinite later. You act as if you are a permanent fixture in the universe, as if you have a century-long lease on a body that is currently depreciating faster than a subprime mortgage. You are a biological miracle standing on a rock hurtling through an infinite void. And you re-spending your prime years manifesting from your sofa while the lights are slowly dimming. It is hilariously pathetic. We've built a society so comfortable that we have to invent struggles to feel alive. We've turned anxiety into a personality trait and burnout into a badge of honor for people who haven't even struck a match yet. Milton Friedman knew that the most important part of freedom is the responsibility that comes with it, but you don't want freedom. You want a padded cell with high-speed Wi-Fi. You want the rewards of the arena without the inconvenience of the blood. Nobody is coming to hand you a trophy for your participation in your own stagnation. Malcolm X didn't wait for a safe space to demand his humanity. And Churchill didn't ask for a mental health day when the Luftwaffe was over London. They understood that the only way through hell is to keep walking, even when your boots are full of blood and your lungs are screaming. You think you're being kind to yourself by lowering the bar. You're not. You're being a goddamn coward. You are treating your fear like a sacred relic instead of what it actually is, biological data telling you that you are living a life that is too small for your frame. Here is the directive: stop negotiating with your weakness, stop treating your excuses like they're insights, pick the one thing you are most terrified of, the task that makes your palms sweat and your stomach. Turn and execute it with mechanical indifference. Fuck your readiness. Fuck your comfort. The world doesn't owe you a click or a like or a win. It owes you nothing. Get off the sideline. Step into the arena. Do the work. The clock is ticking, and the dealer doesn't give refunds on time wasted. Move. Have you ever felt like you're playing a role? Like every day is a performance, and you're just following a script written by someone else? We put on our costumes, the sharp suit for the office, the casual smile for social gatherings, and we recite our lines. We talk about the weather, we discuss the latest trends, we plan for a future that always seems just out of reach. But what if we stopped? What if, just for a moment, we dropped the act? Think about it. We spend so much of our lives chasing a highlight reel. We scroll through social media, seeing curated versions of other people's lives, and we feel a pressure to measure up. We chase promotions, bigger houses, faster cars, all in the pursuit of a happiness that's defined by external standards. We're constantly performing for an invisible audience, hoping for applause in the form of likes, compliments, or envy. But in this grand theater of life, are we even enjoying the play? Or are we just exhausted actors waiting for the curtain to fall? The truth is, this constant performance disconnects us from what's real. It disconnects us from the present moment. We're so busy staging the perfect photo of our coffee that we forget to even taste it. We're so focused on crafting the perfect witty response in a conversation that we miss the genuine connection that is being offered. We are living in a story about our lives instead of living our actual lives. So, how do we break free? It starts with a simple yet profound act: paying attention to the here and now. Feel the warmth of the sun on your skin without thinking about how you need to capture this moment for Instagram. Really listen to the sound of a friend's laughter without planning what you're going to say next. Taste the food you're eating, savoring each bite instead of rushing through your meal while scrolling on your phone. This isn't about rejecting ambition or goals. It's about changing our relationship with them. It's about finding joy not just in the destination, but in the journey itself. The journey is your life, the messy, unpredictable, beautiful, and sometimes difficult reality of it. The real you isn't the polished character you play online or at work. The real you is the person who feels tired after a long day, the one who gets excited about a small, silly thing. The one who is navigating this complex world with all their imperfections and strengths. Embracing this reality is liberating. It means you don't have to have it all figured out. It means it's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to not be perfect. When we let go of the need to perform, we create space for genuine connection. We start to see the people around us not as supporting characters in our story, but as complex individuals living their own reality. We can offer them our authentic selves, and in return, we invite them to do the same. The world doesn't need another perfect performance. It needs you, your real, unscripted, unfiltered self. It needs your unique perspective, your genuine emotions, your true presence. So take a deep breath, let the curtain fall on the performance, step off the stage and into your life. The real show, the one that truly matters, is happening right here, right now. Don't miss it. Thanks so much for watching. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more reflections on living a more authentic life. See you next time.